Oh crap, I was supposed to do an intro thing, but I didn't. I am so sorry. Okay, so this is the summit, which was made by the artist known as Three Rat Moon, and it's a Fire Emblem Three Houses fan game, so I wanted to play it. So, wish me luck, everyone.
It has been at least 3 years since you stepped foot in Garrick Mac Monastery. In that time, the monastery itself has been disbanded, the nuns and monks leaving it for now scattered centers of worship. Architecture destroyed during the war has been largely restored for history's sake, but the buildings now belong wholly to the students of the reinstated Officers Academy. So much has changed, but the mountain air still smells the same as it did when you attended the academy yourself 8 years prior. It makes you feel strangely nostalgic. You take a deep breath. Busy day.
Oh god. Sorry, I read so fast.
Busy daydreaming, Minister?
You turn around and see Hubert von Richter, Minister of the Imperial Household and a closer peer of yours. Since the end of the War of the Three Lords, you have been serving United Fodlan as its Prime Minister, one hand of the Emperor, with Hubert as the other. You both did not get along at first, but the war solidified your relationship, and now the both of you work so well together that you have started to gain a reputation. Hubert has changed outside of work as well. He smells more like... Now you think you like it. So much has changed. So much has changed, yet still so much remains the same as well. Hubert's lips turn up in a little smirk again. That tends to be the way of things. You grin and nudge Hubert's arm with your elbow. You have no sense of romance, Hubert. You watch in fascination as Hubert looks away, a light blush blooming in his cheeks. I suppose not. Then, as movement is gone, Hubert's face is schooled back into the impassive mask. Come then, we should not be late to greet the king and his consort. Ah yes, the very reason why you were back at Garrick Mach. The Emperor of the United Fodlan and the King of Elmira were holding a peace summit. The king has personally requested it be held at Garrick Mach, for old time's sake. How very like Claude. You roll your shoulders back, putting on your best Prime Minister smile. You try not to think of Hubert's strange behavior and what it could mean. Yes, let us go. You stand with Emperor Edelgard, Hubert, and the rest of the greeting party waiting for the Almiran procession to arrive. The first wave comes in on Ryvern back, landing gracefully in the cathedral courtyard. A crier announces the arrival of the King of Elmira. Hey! He looks so cool with his beard! Oh my gosh! Three Rat Moon did a good job here. Claude dismounts from his wyvern, dressed in fine riding leathers with a simple circlet on his head. Despite the less ornate clothes, he stands like a king. Claude turns and helps down his consort, who happens to be your close friend, Lawrence Helvin Gloucester. Hey! It's your boy! Okay, I need to stop. I simped too hard for this man. Lawrence has fought for the Adrestian Empire during the war, willingly giving up his title and lands to the crown. You are not sure if Lawrence was already courting Claude at that point, but you imagine that no longer having responsibility for Gloucester has made it easier for him to leave it behind and move on to Elmira. Once the formal greeting ceremony is done and everyone begins to file into the main hall for lunch, Lawrence beelines for you! OMG! Ferdinand, my dear friend, it has been too long! Perhaps Lawrence's strict adherence to propriety has loosened his time in Elmira because he immediately wraps you up in a tight embrace. Oh my god, he's hugging! He's hugging! He's totally hugging! Aw, man. Hugs. I love the hugs. You can't help but smile on the face of Lawrence's joy, returning to hug. Hey! It is so good to see you, Lawrence. Lawrence pulls back his hand still on your shoulders, taking you in. You look wonderful, very dashing and healthy too. You feel a blush crawl up the back of your neck. Oh man, Ferdinand, I get it. I get it. You're not unused to the effusive praise of the court, nor is Lawrence hesitant with his accolades, but it feels different somehow. It takes you a moment, but you say, so do you. You, of course, are as dazzling as ever. The royal treatment has done you well. Ferdinand! Lawrence swats your arm playfully. Please, you're making me blush. I mean it. You mean everything you say, you silly man. You both laugh at the moment. Okay, time to take a break from this, but as much as I love Furry Bert, I love hitting on Lawrence. So this summit thing is one of the best dating sims one could ever, like, be made. Like, this is the best Fire Emblem fan game by far. And if people are like, but what about the others? There's a difference. The difference is I like more of the characters in Fire Emblem Three Houses, despite their warts and all that stuff. And I wish there was something like this for Fire Emblem Fates. I wish there was a Zola dating sim game, but everyone and their mom is like, girl, why? Your tastes. But then again, I hate Sylvain, so that's like one step above everyone else in the Fire Emblem Three Houses fandom that likes Sylvain and Felix, because I hate the Blue Lions. You had missed this easy joy of being with Lawrence. You suddenly regret that the both of you will be so busy during the summit. After a moment, Lawrence clears his throat and straightens his back. Yes, well, it would not do us to miss our luncheon. No, I suppose not. You offer your arm, which Lawrence takes gracefully. Let us go then. The main hall is decorated with streamers and tapestries, rooms made for a large table with numerous different foods. Staff wander around with pots of tea to offer guests. Lawrence separates from you to speak with one of the Myron delegation, leaving you to your own devices. You serve yourself some of the food, including a fish pie and a salad with berries. You're looking about for somewhere strategic to sit, somewhere you could meet with a good mix of phone litters you know and Elmirans you could meet. When you spot an arm waving at you, it is Claude von Regan, the king of Elmira. When you first met Claude at the Officers' Academy, he had just appeared, declared the heir of the ailing sovereign duke of the Leicester Alliance after a sudden death of his son. No one knew who Claude was, and few trusted him, but he quickly proved himself to be a clever strategist and loyal to his friends. During the war, instead of proceeding to his own ruin as of late, King Dimitri of the Holy Knight of Fargus did, Claude suddenly surrendered to the alliance to Adrestia and left Fodlan entirely. No one knew that all along he had plans to leave so he could claim his place to the throne of Elmira. You don't know how you feel about Claude. He is slippery and secretive, but you feel his ideals and your minds line up well. Regardless, there are a few better places to sit than with the visiting king, so you go over to him. Thank you for the invitation, Your Majesty. Don't mention it. What better opportunity to speak with the Prime Minister of the United Fodlan? He paused thoughtfully before replying. Of course, we haven't had the opportunity to get better acquainted. Exactly, I've heard things from Lawrence, but not much else. It is the same for you. According to Lawrence, Claude is an excellent leader and negotiator, as well as a kind and devoted private. Oh, they bonin'. However, you never got the opportunity to know Claude personally. You ran with different circles in the Officers' Academy, and after that you were on opposite sides of the war. Well, not really. I mean... You suddenly are glad that Claude surrendered before he was killed. You know what? I love that. I love that this is sort of Crimson Flower, but not too much. As have I. I remembered recently that he told me you still participate in wyvern races. Of course, I always found it much more fun than watching the races like the rest of the court. I agree. I'm considering entering one or two of the tournaments being held during the summit. You see spark and delight in Claude's steady smile. Okay, another weird interlude thing. I have an unpopular opinion. I don't like Joe Zieha as Claude very much. If there's one thing that I really loved in the Japanese dub, it was Claude. But unfortunately, I didn't like a lot of other people's voices. And I also have a mad thing for Ben Diskett, so a majority of my playthroughs have been in the English dub. But, it's even funnier because Seth's voice actor I really love, but yeah, Koyasu didn't really do it for me anymore. I went over to the English dub. There's a lot of reasons why I'm not a huge fan of the English or a huge fan of the English dub, but I also don't like stuff in the Japanese dub as well. I wish there was a perfect balance of Ben Diskett's performance and the actual Japanese dialogue. I wish there was a gel, so that way people could really fall in love with the Golden Deer, because I feel like the Japanese fans are more receptive to the Golden Deer compared to the Western fan base. From what I've gathered, the majority of the Western fan base has a bias towards Blue Lions, and I'm not a fan of that, so yeah, there is that. Alright, back to the game. I'm sorry that I keep on having these weird tangents. You should. You both speak for a while longer, continue to drink tea even after empty plates are taken away. Eventually Claude stands up. You stand with him. Unfortunately, I must take my leave. Minister, I want to get settled in and changed before the festivities tonight. Of course. You clasp arms with him and he looks right into your eyes as he speaks. It was great talking to you. We should do it again soon. His attention makes you feel a strange squirming in your gut. Still, you maintain your composure. I look forward to it. Claude given one of the last salutes before he leaves. You sit back down at the table looking at your teacup. Once you finish your tea, you need to get ready for the rest of the evening and then the rest of the summit. Oh, it's over! Aww. So, how is this demo? I wish that there was more. I'm a little bit on the thirsty side of things, but with that said, I love the mix of traditional and digital. That's my, love for these kind of games. That's why the Summit is the best Fire Emblem fan game ever, because it has that perfect gel, I think. I mean, look! Look! You can tell this is marker and not, a digital thing. I just love this, and I'm so happy that I got to share it with you all.